Hi everybody, Donna from Donna'sDreamworks.blogspot.com, and if you remember the other day we were making a few cards from the finds in the box of wedding invitation material, and I said I'd be back to show you one that was stamped instead of just using some of the pieces of paper already imprinted with messages that you find in paper pads. So here's a sample of what I'm going to put on the front of one of the cards. It has the snowman, and I'm going to attempt to do a little coloring on it today. I probably won't finish the whole thing for this video because I'm not a very fast colorist, and with my carpal tunnel it tends to put my hand to sleep, so it's one of the harder things for me to do. But the other day we were talking about the different pieces in that package, and one of the pieces that I showed you was the actual wedding invitation cardstock, a nice embossed piece of cardstock with a hole on the top. And I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with this particular piece, but I have come up with a couple of ideas. One of the commenters on the YouTube video had suggested a tag, and I'm not really a tag person, or I didn't feel like doing tags right now, but I was looking at this and thinking, what else has a shape somewhat like this and a hole on the top? Well, of course, what about a banner? So what I have done, and I've just started it, but I'll give you a little hint of how it's going, is I have used the papers from one of the older stacks I have, and I don't have the name of it here right now, to make some tags, and I have spelt Halloween, okay? Okay, and what I did is basically just take this piece of paper and use the corner rounder and round the corners here, and then measure the paper that would go inside of it. I'm going to be doing some inking around the edges later. As I said, this is just very preliminary. Just wanted to get this part of it done, and then I'll start with some decorating, maybe some medallions and raffia and some other things, and add a lot to it. And then I'm going to just hang it on a string, maybe like a cotton twine, using raffia to hang it. Now the holes are still here, as you can see at the top. Alright, and I just have covered them now, and I'll just use my crocodile later to punch through the paper and put in a grommet so that I can hang it from the string. So there's an idea, one of the ideas that I came up with to use that wedding invitation. It's, again, a nice quality, nice good weight, not too heavy to hang, but heavy enough to keep a nice shape. So we'll keep in touch and see how this comes out, and I'll show you as it progresses. Now back to the card for today. That same piece of cardstock, well, I decided I could make a tri-fold card, and what I did is I just folded it into the middle. Okay, very simple. This is the way it is here, and I just folded the two pieces in until they met in the middle to make a tri-fold card. And then I've taken a Christmas stack. It's an old die cuts with a view stack, and I've just put some pieces of paper here, and I've already done that because if the measurements on this don't really matter for the video, because I had to measure according to what the size of this card is once it was made. It is just smaller than an A2 size card. This card is 4 inches across and 5 1/4 in height here. Okay, so it's 4 by 5 1/4. So it still will fit just very nicely in an A2 size envelope. And what I'm going to do is to put the snowman on the front as the closure. So let's do a little coloring. I'm going to be using the Bic Marks It permanent marker. I've only just got these and I've not really used them. I'm not a very good blending colorist and whatever, but we're going to see if we can do a little something. I do have a Copic blending pen, and we'll see if we can do just a little something here. This is a nice set. I'm going to use the green, and I will give you the names of the colors in just a few, and probably yellow. Okay, I'm going to use, first of all, this Ocean View Blue, just to give a little color to the snowmen. And I did find that you have to kind of work fast with this blending pen because this is a permanent marker and it will dry too quickly if you're not quick with your blending pen. So I'm just going to blend this around and bring a little of that color into the snowmen. And you see it just sort of blurs it a little bit and gives the snowmen just a little bit of shading. Because otherwise they're so white they really just don't show up on the paper. And of course I have used Stays-On ink to do this because of the wetness of the ink here and the blending pen. But you can see it's just bringing out the tiniest bit of color shading to these snowmen. And a little bit with the snow underneath too. And I guess I've not ever done this before. You're watching a true experiment. But I'm going in the circular motion because that's normally the way I would use any pen that I would be coloring with. Oh, and I haven't got him any dark blues in here. Let's get him some blue on his body. Okay. Oh. I've got this guy in the back. And as you can see, just having gone over that just a little bit, there's just enough tint on this blending pen to give these snowmen a little dimension. Okay. Now we're going to do some coloring for the caps. And the colors here in this in the Bic are very nice, brilliant colors. Let's do this fellow over here in green. And of course, excuse the way I have to keep turning the paper. As you remember, I'm left-handed, and I don't want to color over everything I've already just colored. Now what I do with the scarves is just put a couple of dots in the middle. Again, take the blending pen and we're going to blend those in, and it just gives the impression of it being sort of a plaid. Okay, and we'll give this other guy his green scarf. And he's got some dots for stripes. And we'll blend those in. Scarf. This may be too long a video, so if you watch it, you may see that it has been trimmed to eliminate some of this coloring and just show the finished product. We've got yellow for these two little birds. Some orange noses. And I think we'll give them brown buttons. And a brown stick. Snowballs will be glittered. got one guy's nose. And I think that's about all. I'm not going to do a whole lot more coloring on that. It just is enough to give it a little bit of dimension. And again, by the time I put the glitter and what on, that'll take care of it. Now, you'll notice that the ink comes through here. So if I were to put this on the card and use it to open, it's going to show all of this ink on the back. So what I have done is to cut out another oval of the same shape with the paper that is in the inside of the card. And I'm going to adhere it to the back of it. And I did have it right the one time. You have to kind of fiddle with it till you get those lined up. There you go. Now I'll see if I can do that quickly. Of course, my ATG gun was on the other side of the room. There we go. So now, when I put it on the front of the card and open it, it will have just the blue on the inside. So what I'm going to do is just to put some ATG on half of it. And we'll stick it right here. Again, I have more embellishments to do with the front of that. On the inside of the card, I have a couple of these little cutouts that already had sentiments on them. I'm going to add those to the inside, with the exception of one that I stamped. We'll put Happy Winter down here. And then on this polar bear, I stamped Happy Holidays on it, using a Stampin' Up, quite an old Stampin' Up stamp actually. And we'll put that one on the other side. So there you have a Happy Holidays and Happy Winter. And again, it will close. And we'll embellish this with a little icicles. I can probably just get a couple on there. This is the icicle stickles. It really is glistening. There you go. So there's a stamped card. There's two things that use the wedding invitation paper, and you can make the tags, the banners as I have, or you can make some Christmas cards that are trifold cards. Okay, we'll be back again and try out some more cards. Thanks for coming. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.